Should game reviewers, be it YouTubers, Twitch streamers, social media peeps, or uh, people who write like reviews on sites, should these game journalists or journalists or reviewers uh, put their put consideration of bugs and performance issues when they score a game out of 5, out of 10, or out of whatever. That's the main thing, and for some reason it's like a topic that has been I brought it up in the podcast, the ARP podcast, and because I've seen it being discussed online, and I guess it needs to be talked about because it seems obvious to me, but yeah, we have to talk about it now. So what I've read, or like what some reviewers think, is that they should not include that in the score and just focus on the game itself and not include the bugs or performance issues, because they think, okay, we have an early copy of the game and there might be a day 1 patch or like a day 2 patch to fix all of these issues that we're having. So basically it would make our review irrelevant if we have a score lower because of these performance issues or bugs when they wouldn't be experienced by players when the game is out. It would make their review irrelevant. Now here's the thing, and people are saying no. Well, a lot of people are saying no, not everyone, including myself. And the reason being is that if there shouldn't be any trust in terms of reviewing a product. So let's say I got a car, I'm driving it. A lot of people use the example of a car for a lot of for a lot of topics, but yeah, I'll just go with it. I got a car, there's issues with this, that, and the other, and I write a review. I don't mention any of them, or like I don't take it into consideration when I score the car, and I give it, I don't know, an 8 when it should have been a 6 or a 5 because of these issues, because the car manufacturer told me, oh, don't worry, we'll fix it. This is, you have like an old model. What the people will get will have a day 1 patch, a day 1 guy that comes in and fixes these things for them. Yeah, that's not acceptable. So it shouldn't be acceptable for games as well. If there are bugs and there are performance issues that make the experience bad while like I'm playing it as a reviewer, then I will mention that, as well as it, having it affect the final score of the game, even if it's all fixed on launch with a day 1 patch. Because yeah, if the developers as well don't want this, I also make games, or like getting into games, and I know other people, like friends, also make games and have released games, and I'm not like shy of this and saying, if you are making a game and you're going in with the mentality of, oh, I'm gonna have a day 1 patch, I should tell these reviewers that, hey, just keep in mind that what you're experiencing right now is temporary. On actual launch day, all will be well, supposedly. As a reviewer, I'd be like, sure, but I'm still gonna mention them, and your score will be lower because of these issues. I would have the developers so this is me saying to developers, if you're doing that and the reviewer still scores your game lower as a result of these issues that have been or would have been resolved on day 1, do not hate on the reviewer. It's your fault that you provided a game in such a state to the reviewer to review. If you don't want the reviewer to give you a score or review your game badly and give you a low score because of these performance issues or bugs, then spend more time fixing up these bugs and performance issues. If you don't have the budget for it, as a reviewer or as the end consumer, that's not my issue. You wouldn't say these things as a car manufacturer, as a when you build a house for someone, when like a lot of things you wouldn't say this for. And so why should gaming or games be an exception? It's not an exception. If your game got a low score because of issues that aren't present on launch but they were present for the reviewer, that's a legit review, and users will read it, and because of it will potentially avoid buying your game. If you don't want that to happen, budget accordingly, have backup money, have whatever. Again, I shouldn't be even saying this because it's not my issue, but plan accordingly and release a game. Have that day one patch for like as a day -30 patch, so that the reviewers wouldn't experience these and they would review your game in a positive, like assuming it's a good game in general. They wouldn't knock the game down and review because of performance or bug issues. And to journalists, no, screw like not mentioning performance issues or bugs and not scoring the game lower because of it. You are reviewing the game for the reader, for the consumer, so that they can make an informed decision to know if they're gonna get a good product, if they're gonna get a good game or not. If they will experience performance issues or bugs that would ruin their experience of the game. You need to mention that, and you need to lower your score of a game because of it, so that your audience, your main reader base, your main fans, the reason why they go to you, these people, so that they can make an informed decision. If you don't do this, then to the eyes of the reader, to the eyes of the person that wants to get that information from you, will see you as someone that's faulty, someone that's not good, someone that's not doing their job correctly. And I'm lagging again. vrchat. But yeah, with that said, review the game properly, and developers, don't send out review copies to reviewers when the game isn't done. It's as simple as that. Alright, tell me what your thoughts on it if you have any thoughts on it, and see you. Bye bye.